Hey guys, this is Rap. I've got for you the third and final game of the 100 Wolf tournament final between Serion and Adblax. It is on my most favorite map of all, the Shakura's Plateau map in the current map pool, so it is the new one with no destructible rocks here. And in this setup is going to be pretty important because, there's not going to be any rushers through this very, very short distance on ground, so we won't see any Zigglings run bys here because it's just not possible. It is a Zerg versus Zerg, and Adblax won the first macro game. He did win it with Mutalisk and basically just Mutas really. He did have a few lings, but he did manage to just outmass the Mutas of Serion. He also out-upgraded him. He had a very good macro in that. Also using the Spinecrawler trick later on to even get more additional supplies. So that was a really good game one by Adblax and Serion. And then Serion did equalize with some really big cheese in game 2. So we are currently tied 1-1, and this game is worth £100. And we'll see who's gonna actually grab, who's gonna be the winner and who's actually gonna take that £100 worth price home. It is cash, so no one really doesn't like to get additional money. So it's a 15-50 supply. We do see no cheese this time by Serion. We don't see a spawning pool getting made at 7, 6, or 4. In SC1 I think you could do a 4 pool, so you won't be seeing any of that. We do see expansion getting enjoyed by both players. It would seem to me that Serion's was a slightly bit earlier than Adblax's by like 2 seconds or so. We also see a lot earlier gas by Serion. We also see an evaluation chamber getting dropped to deny that. So that EO chamber is there, and he does actually deny that first gas, which means that this gas is a bit delayed, and he's not actually going to be able to get that early gas, which means that they're actually going to get gas at very similar times now. We do see spawning pools for both players, so even though Adblax's gas was a bit late, he did manage to catch it up with the EO chamber. We do see gas now for Adblax done, gas for Serion also done. He does have like 4 more gas, but that's about it. We see spawning pool. I think it's also pretty similar time, and maybe Serion seems to be ahead in this game, which is rather strange because in game 1 and game 2, for most of the game before he got the links, it did seem to be like Adblax did have the better timing. However, in this game, it seems like it's actually Serion gets the better timing this time. I think Adblax is a bit cheesed off from game 2 still. Both games are played one after each other. Pretty late actually. Time zone wise, it was pretty late. We actually see 1 queen only for Adblax. He's not actually able to afford the 2nd queen. He does grab his metabolic boost instead of getting the queen. So I'm not quite sure what he's doing that. We do see 4 links, 2 links for Serion, actually 6 links, so we might be seeing some pressure with those links. And we actually see Serion now adding additional links. And so we still do see the 2nd queen at the natural. We do see an overload and metabolic boost upgrade, so it's pretty even if we go to income tab 20 to 21 with Serion having the advantage. And from game 1, we could see that Adblax's macro was definitely better. So we'll see if Adblax actually, perks up his game to win the £100. So we do see 4 drones, we do see metabolic boost. We actually see more lanes on the way for Adblax. So he might be going for something that all-inish play. We do see a roach warren getting dropped. We do see a overload might get picked up. I'm not sure. He is going to high ground, so the queen loses vision. And then he's just gonna, happily get up to safety. So, yep, the queen does not manage to pick up the overload. Speed is now done for Serion. Not quite yet for Adblax, though. We do see roach timing is a bit earlier for Adblax. Wouldn't really say, not sure if it's really better, though. We do see both queens now constructed a bit later, though. We go to income tab 21 to 26, and that's really not good. Now we see 25-26, but Serion does get ahead again with another drone wave. So we go 5, we go 2, 6 Zerglings. we actually see Les getting dropped down for both players as well. So we actually see second gas guys are getting taken. So right now, Serion in better position to get those Hydras because you don't usually see a Roach Mutalisk because that is very, very mineral and gas intensive. And from 2 base, you can't really do it. We do see that with Metabolic Boost upgrade, we do see that those links just run straight into both. They just go in and out, but they can't really do much at all. We do see more links getting dropped here. We do see a Queen, additional links getting dropped down. We now see a lane versus lane fight, and it does seem to me like Adblax will come out victorious. He does manage to get another head, so he's just trying to make sure he minimizes his losses. He does have more links, I would assume. But it does seem like those links, I think, have there any upgrades? No, there haven't been. So 0-0, also 0-0 here, and there's only 3 links left now for Adblax. So he is forced to throw additional links. We also see Roaches getting thrown down right now. And with this, in this situation, go to income tab. It's 34-42, and Serion getting ahead, seriously ahead in this game right now. He is just getting more and more of these drones. Also get an infestation pit, and with the minimum of gas that he has, he will be grabbing his second, third, and fourth guys up pretty soon. He does have his third already constructed, not mine yet though. The infestation pit is halfway done, and if we go to upgrades, we do see 1 plus road speed getting dropped for Serion, only 1 with road speed getting dropped for Adblax because he does have the small income. We do have this queen, should be able to pick up this overall. We do see some pretty good micro if we go to APM 150, and normally you can see that Serion's is average 149. He spams APM like hell. On the other side, we got Adblax trying to play it like the boss. And he doesn't really have billions of APM, but he's still a better sort of player, which proves my all-time theory that it is not just about how much APM you got. You also got to make this APM count. I'm just gonna go back to income tab. Serion now is 12 jobs ahead. He's also grabbing his third, and that third was a lot earlier than the hatchery of Adblax. I am an Adblax fan, by the way. I'm strongly on Adblax side. After the cheese that Serion done, we do see that some links do pop in here and do spot the third expansion. So he actually forces those links who are going to attack his base to go back and defend his hatchery. He is not going to force a cancel on there, but he might just be a little bit annoying. I think he might actually lose those as well. He is trying to just micro away from danger. There's quite a few roaches in the field right now. If I go to unit stab, is 7-7, 11 links to, well, 8 links because these 3 links did die. So it's 10 links to 8 links, 7-7. But Adblax is seriously below the macro expectation of this kind of player. Look at his middle gas. I think he's saving up for those infestors. But the pathogen glass has been done for both players. We do see the third has also been done for both players, but we do need to see some more drones coming in from Adblax because that's really not good. He is not supply block. He should be able to throw down quite a few. We do see actually 6 infestors getting thrown down instead. So he is going to try to play this game in the economic disadvantage. He's only now throwing down 5 drones. We don't see Serion getting thrown down any drones right now. Although now he is. And quite a few, unfortunately. 7 drones to 5 drones constructed by Adblax. He does need to pick up his game, throw down more and more of these drones right now. We do see a big attack getting down here. There's quite a few Zerglings. Will we see a infestor popping up? No, we will. So that's even the odds of the bit. If you fungal growth Zerglings, they only have 1 HP left, I think. Actually, it should theoretically kill them because that's 36, but I think they got 1 armor anyway. No, it doesn't. So 1 fungal growth actually killed Zerglings without upgrades. And actually, thinking about it, will not quite kill Serion, who does have 1-1, and his link does have this vital 1 health, so which means there will be 1 shot, but they will be able to get additional attack in. We actually see Burrow getting made for Serion as well, to attack a bit earlier for Adblax though. So that could be the factor that keeps him in the game a bit longer. if I go to income tab, 58 to 72, he's now 12, 14 Jones ahead Serion is. We do see some fungals getting dropped, and fungals getting dropped everywhere right now. And infested getting fungal. We do see some infested terrors getting dropped. We do see those infested. All the infested actually got sniped in there. And he's just moving away from those infested terrors who do quite a bit of damage. Actually, 9 with weapon attack speed of 0.86, which is quite a bit. So Serion does manage to clean up this attack with those infested terrors. I'm going to go back to production tab, and it is currently a big arm up for Serion, who does for like 16 legs and 20 roaches. Adblax going for actually 2 drones, 3 infestors, so he actually 4 of them drones trying to catch up with the econ. We do see an attack on the third base, sorry, and we also see a 4th getting constructed a lot later, unfortunately, than Serion, because Serion is actually complete right now. He is from them 1 gas geyser, and if you go to supply worth, it is 157 to 94. And we do see that actually Adblax doesn't have to clean up here. He doesn't have burrow though, so these roaches won't be able to use their fast regeneration ability, because they do need burrow for that. We do see 16 drones getting further at the same time by Adblax. Very risky play, because you know he doesn't really have the army right now. If we go to units, it's 15 roaches. 3 infestors to 28 roaches, 2 infestors plus 19 lings. He is not for them additional infestors. We actually see a Spire and a Hive getting morphed in. So we could be seeing some Broodlords right now. We do see Larvae spawn, nearly perfect. Well, nearly. I think this queen actually died or got moved here, because there's a queen here. There's no queen in a second base though. And we actually see 2 infested turrets getting used to prickle this overload, but there is overload speed research, so those infested turrets are just a waste of, I think it's 50, yep, it's 50 energy of the infested. They get wasted just to try and fail to kill this one overload, because these infested turrets are very, very slow. You might be seeing exactly the same trick from Adblax. I'm not sure, because there's an overload here, and he does not have the speed upgrade. I think the speed actually makes the move like 4 or 5 times as fast, so that's pretty cool. There we go. We do see a Spire. It is actually completed right now. We also see that Lair also have been done. I'll go to income tab. It's Adblax getting ahead right now, 80-76. However, if we see the supply is 183 to 168, and Greatest Spell actually is on the way, so we will be seeing some Broodlords action, and that's pretty good news. We see 0-2 made for Adblax. Serion's currently on 2-2, and that's not a good stage to be in. We do see that infested terrans have been dropped to kill this overload. This overload will go down. The overload speed has not been researched. And that is it. I mean, you know, that's 1 overload on the drain if we go to units lost. Adblax still slightly in the disadvantage, but not really a lot. It's 80 units lost to 80 units lost. Serion obviously losing more lengths than roaches though. We see actually 12 roaches instead of Broodlords getting dropped, which is rather strange, because he does have, you know, the Greatest Spire halfway done, although there is a big attack and he can't see this with these overloads. So here comes the Showdown of Force. Will he be able to just hold up the attack and cause enough damage not to make here attack? We do see Fungal catching a few links. He actually caught most of the links here, and those links will be more or less useless enough. I'm going to see they are getting 1 shot. None of the players researched the Hive, and here comes some additional Fungals. We do see that Adblax does get the Conclave, and most of the roaches are actually dead on both sides now. We do see some Desperation and Infested Terrans getting dropped down as well. Burrowed and Infestors do get away, and I think this is more or less a draw. We do see an Overseer Cocoon to save the overload. He's probably going to cancel that now to get his Hatchet gas back. Oh, is he actually going to make just to stem the overloads here? It's actually letting it make, just in case the overloads come back. So we did see 54 roaches at the same time dropped for Serion here. We actually see 7 corruptors getting dropped on the other side. Also, great to spy Muffin a bit later. But there's a lot of corruptors getting dropped at the same time. We'll see who's actually going to win this. It's going to be a corruptor fight right now, because whoever kills the opposition corruptors and has his own broodlords on the field will win the game. We do see 3 getting dropped for Serion, 3 attack for roaches, and 1 attack for broodlords. Getting dropped for Adblax. He's actually still making drones, while Serion stopped quite a while ago. So it is 87 to 83 supply, and we do get to this stage where we still need to macro up, because it is going to be vital. So we do see a few links popping up. We do have 2 broodlords morphing in for Serion. I don't see any broodlords morphing in for Adblax just yet, though. If I go to both players' screen, he has no idea that there could be broodlords on the way, and if I go to other screen, also no idea. So none of the players actually know there could be broodlords on the way. We do see some links scouting. He does spot the broodlords. And now right now he knows, okay, I need a lot more corruptors. He does have quite a few here, which I think is the reason why we will not be seeing Adblax morphing in those broodlords just yet. He'll want to snipe the opposition broodlords first, and then see how far you can actually get with that. So we do see another push with 3 broodlords. Excuse me, I'm quite tired here. We do see broodlords, infestors, corruptors, roaches. We do see some broodlords getting morphed in for Adblax. He's actually decided to morph in broodlords, which is rather strange. We do see Fungal catching all of those corruptors, and the corruptor fight will be easily won by Adblax. The corruptors do go down. Another Fungal does just make sure, yeah, okay, you're not gonna deal much damage to my corruptors. And he is now able to concentrate on the broodlords, which means that even though his roaches will go down, there are still 3 broodlords of his own. I will be able to pick off those roaches very, very easily, since there is nothing to actually kill them. We actually see Adblax with infested turns as well. So all these broodlords did just go down. We do see 21 roaches getting dropped on for Adblax, and 30 corruptors getting dropped on for Serion with 40 links. I'm not sure if links are a really good thing to counter for broodlords, but we'll see how this goes on. It's getting pretty intense right now. Adblax does manage to hold this attack pretty well. We do see some roaches in the back line just doing some economic damage here. If I go to Acom tab, actually Adblax did lose all his economic advantage here. We see an Ultra Scam getting dropped for some reason. Java Street, we do see 7 more corpus on the way for Adblax. And I think the tables of war have turned. Even though Serion has 1 additional expansion, he's not actually mining on it. So both players, basically on 5 base. 6 broodlords getting morphed in by Serion. He doesn't have the corruptor power though. To make sure that those broodlords are actually safe from the corruptors of Adblax. He does have quite a few corruptors actually. He does have 11 corruptors, only 5 broodlords though. So that's pretty good, because you don't want to have too much if there is so many broodlords on the field. You do want to kill them quite fast before they kill your army. Here comes another attack. Adblax once again is an overlord to spot it. And that's that's just first class scouting. He does have the overloads spread just to see what's going on. He did just lose 2, but it was well worth it. He does have a lot of spam minerals anyway. And here comes the attack. We do see infestors should be able to clean up this bunch of links pretty easily if he doesn't decide to drop down the fungals. Here comes some fungals. He actually fungal growths all of the corruptors once again. I'm really liking this. He actually fungal those corruptors very well, which means that his broodlords are safe and the opponents are not. We will see a broodlord fight. And actually he might lose his hatchery here. But this, we do see just 2 fungals getting dropped down now. Corruptors of Serions have lost, and those broodlords once again exposed. I'm not sure if he really has the gas to just waste corruptors like this. I mean, it's a broodling fight, so Adblax just earns the time he needs to kill off all of those broodlords. And Brutals do cost quite a fair bit, so if I go to units lost, Adblax keeping his units a lot better, and is currently, 2.7k resource worth of, gas and minerals wasted, basically. Well, not wasted, but lost. He did lose quite a few troops. For Serion, only 18,000 for Adblax, though. He still has Brutals in the field, and he does have the Corruptor power. He's actually basically one-shooting the Corruptors if he decides to use the Corruption ability, which he didn't, but we do see there's quite a few Broodlords. And I think Serion's doing the wrong thing to do. He's actually throwing down Ultralisks to counter Broodlords, and that's just not going to work out. He might be try to go for a base swap. But we do see Roaches will be able to do not only additional damage against Armored, which I thought they did, but they do not. But they will be able to stop those Ultras from attacking his base. And at the same time, those Broodlords will be able to just clean them up pretty easily. We do see micro on both sides. We see 250 APM, 250 APM for both players. And Serion's Ultras are actually trying to kill the Broodlings. One actually gets surrounded. And we do see that Serion getting forced to borrow those Ultras just to make sure he doesn't lose them. Although I don't think they'll really be able to do much. He did lose one hatchery here. I think actually on the other side we see that Adblax had his mineral line ravaged as well. So if we go to income tab, 55 to 44. Serion still has, 2 bases mining. Adblax only has 1. Those links are getting in the main base. He might be actually able to pick up the Great Spire, which would be quite a disaster for Adblax, who is trying to go for Broodlords. But I think Adblax doesn't really care. He knows he's got us in the bank for now. He does limit the amount of Corruptors that his opponent gets pretty easily, although that Queen does manage to pick off 1 Corruptor, which is quite vital right now. We do see a big bunch of Corruptors fighting right now. Do we see Corrupt getting dropped down? No, we do not. We do actually see Transfuse by Serion. We might be saying second Transfuse now because there is 50 energy on his Queen. And we don't see actually Queen fights the Broodlings. Don't even picks off this 1 Corruptor. Not even this picks off. I don't think that made sense. I was actually meant to say that she did actually pick off this Corruptor. So more Broodlords attacking the main base, and on the other side we just see a few links are still there. The Greatest Spy has not been picked off. But there is no units back there. He could be trying to snipe him with 1 Infestor. Well, I don't see that's going to be the case. His main base, that's what I'm actually see Corrupt getting used by Adblax to make sure he limits the amount of Corruptors he loses. A Great Aspire for Serion does go down, and that's the moment he GG's with a heart. Oh, how cute. After cheesing Adblax in the first game, he actually still says GG. He does say congrats. And yes, Serion does lose the game. Adblax wins it, even though he was in the economic disadvantage. And yeah, Adblax does carry £100 home of this tournament. I'm not even sure what it's called, to be honest. But it is 2-1 win for Adblax. Thanks, guys. This was Bubble Wrap.